I'm guessing that most of you know what PTSD is. It's existed as long as humans have, but it gained popular recognition during World War I when its early name, shell shock, was coined by the British psychologist Charles Samuel Myers to describe the type of post-traumatic stress disorder many soldiers were afflicted with during the war. But did you know that it isn't the only way an individual can obtain the psychiatric disorder? It's true that things like physical assault, sexual assault, car accidents, child abuse, fires, and other traumatic experiences where an individual would feel mentally and/or physically endangered can cause the disorder. The symptoms of PTSD can fall into four simple categories: intrusion, avoidance, alterations in cognition and mood, and alterations in arousal and reactivity. Intrusion describes thoughts such as repeated involuntary memories, distressing dreams, or flashbacks of the traumatic event. Flashbacks may be so vivid that people feel like they are reliving the traumatic experience or seeing it before their eyes. Avoidance in PTSD is when reminders of the traumatic event may cause one to avoid people, places, activities, objects, and situations that may trigger distressing memories. People may try to avoid remembering or thinking about the traumatic event, and they may resist talking about what happened or how they felt about it. Alterations in cognition and mood can be experienced when one has the inability to remember important aspects of their traumatic event, negative thoughts, and feelings leading to ongoing and distorted beliefs about himself or others. Distorted thoughts about the cause or consequences of the events can lead to wrongly blaming oneself or others, ongoing fear, horror, anger, guilt, or shame, less interest in activities previously enjoyed, feeling detached or estranged from others, or being unable to experience positive emotions. Alterations in arousal and reactivity symptoms may include being irritable and having angry outbursts, behaving recklessly or in a self-destructive way, being overly watchful of one's surroundings in a suspecting way, being easily startled, or having problems concentrating or sleeping. Many of these symptoms may be experienced only a few days after the traumatic event, but in order to be diagnosed with the disorder, the symptoms must last for over 1 month. Traumatic experiences can cause PTSD symptoms, but if they go away within a few days or weeks, it isn't PTSD. Despite so, one who has experienced a traumatic event can go for a few months before experiencing the effects of PTSD. Most cases of PTSD are treated through either therapy, medications, or more distinct practices. PTSD therapy has three main goals. They are improving one's symptoms, teaching one skills to deal with their issues, and restoring one's self-esteem. Most PTSD therapies fall under the umbrella of cognitive behavioral therapy. The idea of it is to change the thought patterns that are disturbing a PTSD sufferer's life. This might happen through talking about their trauma or concentrating on where their fears come from. In the case of medication treatment, the brains of people with PTSD processes threats differently, in part because the balance of chemicals called neurotransmitters are out of whack. They have an easily triggered fight or flight response, which is what makes one jumpy and on edge. Constantly trying to shut that down could lead to feeling emotionally cold and removed. Medications help stop one thinking about and reacting to what happened, including having nightmares and flashbacks. They can also help an individual have a more positive outlook on life and feel more normal again. Several types of drugs affect the chemistry in an individual's brain related to fear and anxiety. Fluoxetine, paroxetine, sertraline, and venlafaxine are examples of these medications. An interesting fact about PTSD is that sufferers of the disorder who obtained it in warfare tend to prefer to sit against the wall or corner and be able to clearly see an exit when in a room. This stems from their traumatization and training as soldiers. You think you remembered everything? Well, good, because it's quiz time.